Hey y'all, it's Desiree and I'm back with another video. And for this video, God is saying new experiences. God is bringing you new experiences in love, new experiences through new locations, new opportunities, new growth, financial growth, new memories, new pictures, new photos. God is bringing you new experiences. And how you can tell that God is bringing you new experiences in this time, in this current season, is by recognizing that His grace is no longer in the place that you are at currently. You can notice when God's grace is no longer on a phase, is no longer on a chapter, things begin to dry up, things begin to slow up, things begin to look funny, and you begin to recognize that God is not moving in that place the way that He once did. He may still be providing, but He's not providing in the way that He once did. His hand is no longer moving in ways that it once did. Things don't seem to flow effortlessly, even despite the turmoil, even despite the testing and trials. Things are no longer moving effortlessly. They're no longer running smoothly. And you may even notice that for a moment, you cannot hear God as strongly as you once were. Or it may seem like He's not speaking to you as much as He once was. Or you may notice that you don't feel His spirit, His presence as close to you as you once did. But when it's time for that book to come to an end, when God is ready to change your experience, you can further recognize the shift. You can further recognize that His grace is no longer with you and that His grace has went ahead of you. And the enemy may try to use this to paint a picture to you to say, oh, well, you are doing something wrong, or it's because you aren't taking heed to instruction, you aren't pressing in like you once were, and that's not the case. It's just that God's grace has went ahead of you. And it can feel like in the spirit that God has just packed up His stuff and He has moved forward. You still feel His presence, you still feel Him in your surroundings, and like I said, you still see Him providing. You still see Him making a way. You still see Him sustaining you, but you can feel that His presence is not with you fully as it once was. And I want to bring this video to you today to let you know that it's only because God has went ahead of you. God has already moved forward, and He is waiting on you to be reunited in this new experience, in this new territory. So many of you are minutes away from a life-changing moment. So many of you are minutes away from your life just completely changing from what you have once known it to be. And this is not just in one area. This is not just in some areas. A complete head-to-toe new experience. You're going to walk different. You're going to talk different. You're going to laugh different. You're going to smile different. A completely new experience. God has not left you. He's went ahead of you. God has not forgotten about you. He's went ahead of you. You may all of a sudden feel like you're in the dark for some reason. You may all of a sudden feel a little confused. It's only because your spirit can perceive that God has went ahead of you. And some of the signs that God's grace is no longer at the place that you are can be what appears to be financial lack. You may all of a sudden feel like you don't have peace in a place that you once had peace despite the odds. Or you may be in a place that you've been having peace in despite the odds, but your peace is now tripled. You may recognize that the relationships in that area, whether it be in the home that you're in, the job that you're in, those relationships are kind of drying up. Those relationships are fizzling out. Or it may be that you can perceive that that relationship is kind of parting ways. And maybe not permanently, but you could just feel that you are taking a new trajectory. And because of that, there is space in between you and your coworkers or your family members or that friend, that roommate. And you may just feel that overall, your spirit feels that things are coming to a close. Things are coming to an end in general. You could just really feel on your spirit that like, there's nothing else left for me to learn in this place. There's nothing else left for me to receive in this place. There's no further growth possible in this place. You can recognize that you have outgrown a place. You can recognize that you have outgrown that relationship. You can recognize that you have outgrown that job and there's nothing left there for you. And it's simply because God is ready to bring you into a new experience. And I just feel on my heart to say that for some of you, the current experience that you're in, even though you know that it's coming to a close, even though you can feel that you are days away in the spirit from something newness taking place, you may kind of feel out of touch with reality or just truly confused in the sense of this experience is all that you know, or this experience is what your life has always been. And because of that, you just don't quite know or understand how to piece where you are in this moment. But just know that God is bringing you to a new experience. What you feel is the ending of something, and not the ending of a phase or the ending of a chapter, but the ending of a book. And God is opening up a new book. God is not just turning the page this time. He's opening up a new book. He's giving you new experiences. One of the definitions of experience is the process of doing and seeing things and of having things happen to you. So God is saying that you are walking into a new process of doing things. You're walking into a new process of seeing things. The things that God is about to produce in your life is never before seen, never before felt, never before heard of. Just like Isaiah 43:19 says, "See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland." So don't be baffled by the wasteland. Don't be baffled by the wilderness. Before God brings you to something new, He brings to a close, He brings to the end the current. He dries up the current. He shrivels up the current. He withers away the current. And if you aren't careful, you will perceive that as things coming to a dead end. But things are not coming to a dead end. Things are coming to an end, but not a dead end. When things begin to slow up, when things begin to dry up, it's not time to say, "Oh God, what's happening?" It's time to say, "Oh God, what we doing next? Oh God, what do I need to do in preparation? Because I perceive that you're doing a new thing. I perceive that your grace has left this place. I perceive that my assignment is up here. I perceive that you are finished doing the work in this current state." And sometimes that assignment simply looks like resting and waiting. And we don't always like to hear resting and waiting, but Isaiah 43:19 didn't say, "See, we doing a new thing." It says, "See, I am doing a new thing. I am making a way." So allow God to make a way in this time. Instead of worrying, instead of complaining, instead of allowing the enemy to grow doubt in your mind, begin to rejoice. Begin to sing. Begin to smile again, because new experiences are coming.